For the brunch? Yes.
Grandma, you know,
Give Grandma a kiss. I think of her caring, the way she took care of us, and that she was always there. And I see her just standing outside the door and saying, "Martin, come in for supper, or come in for lunch, or stay out."
Oh, look at this gorgeous pussy. Hi, dollface. Isn't she gorgeous?
Hi, Grandma.
Isn't she gorgeous?
Hi, Grandma.
Say hi, Grandma.
Hey, guys.
You look, she's
hungry.
beautiful. This is my grandson. You're gorgeous.
I remember coming home from PS11, and what a comforting feeling it was to see her waiting for us here. She'd be sitting with her friends on a folded chair, I think in the afternoon, in the summer afternoons, the sun was here and the shade was over there, so she would sit on that side of the street in a folded chair with a clutch of her friends, and she'd see us and take us in the house, give us our milk and cookies and what have you, and that was just a nice feeling to come home.
You got them all now? You got them all?
No, that's all.
That's all?
I said, yeah, no more. No, no more.
So your husband was working 3 jobs as a tailor. Your kids were studying hard in school. What did you used to do, Grandma?
What am I doing? Washing, cleaning, cooking.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. So the Gudinski household was in place. Abe was hard-working, quiet, and proud, and relished Sundays, his day to be off with his kids. Ida ran the house and the finances. Immigrant parents raising first-generation American sons, the seeds of an American dream. Then came something called the Great Depression.
It seemed that the tough years of the Depression really started to kick the fun out of her life.
My husband, he didn't know as much as I knew because he was such a beautiful man that I wouldn't even hurt him. You know, I said, everybody's going to relief. He says, I'm going to go to I'll die. He says, I'm not going.
Survival was the word, but it was quiet survival with a stern, proud face. Some days Abe would have work, some days he wouldn't. But every day, Grandma had to hold the family together.
Her favorite time to talk to me was around bedtime. And when I was going to bed one night, she came by and tucked me in, and she says, I really have to talk to you and tell you exactly what our financial position is. She says, your father works, he's a hard-working man. She said that this was all that he he could afford. That's all that he could make. And if I wanted to, if I wanted to clothe myself, and I wanted to entertain myself, and I was now about 11, 12 years old, I simply had to get a job.
So less money meant less food, particularly when Abe was laid off. But merchants, like the one she described, adored her and offered help when times were particularly tough.
It's true as I'm talking to you, Brian. He opens the register, and he takes out a bunch of $10 bills. He says, take it as much as you want. I said, I'm sorry, I wouldn't touch it. He says, why? I says, because I don't know when I could give you back. Because I can't visualize the time that I could take the $50 or $25 and give it back to him. I says, if I know that this and this day I could pay you, I'll do it, but I'm not.
What did he say?
He says, I never seen anything. I says, that's what I am. That's my policy of life, and that's all.
And the Depression cost the family more than just money. They couldn't afford a new baby when Grandma became pregnant, and accepting charity was out of the question. And abortion was the only solution.
You know, you weren't allowed to do it, so there's 2 doctors I find out special, I think my doctor, my family doctor, gave me this to the doctor. Says, go in this, they're gonna do it for you. He will never do it. So I came in there, it was just like a slaughterhouse. They cut you off and they say, right out, wash your face and make believe it. It's 2 rooms. And one is cutting, the other one is washing out. Usually see just like a cow, you lay there and they cut you up and then they wash inside. He says, go ahead, get dressed and walk out.
She was in the hospital 10 days. Her son sensed things just weren't the same.
Sunday morning, Sunday was our family day, so she'd be up at 6:30 Sunday morning doing the family wash, so we can get going at around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I remember, she used to sing Russian songs, and I used to wake up hearing that. And it was just a nice way to get up at Sunday morning. But as the time went on, she stopped singing.
Were there nights when you didn't think you had food? Were there nights when you didn't have what to eat?
I had. That's a little touch. I had.
How did you do it?
I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
No, Grandma, you more than just did it. From the early 30s to Pearl Harbor Day, you single-handedly kept a family from collapse. And you did it with your strongest weapon, Grandma, your love.
I brought him up beautiful, don't you think so?
Monday lunches were horrible. Monday lunches were codfish and spinach. I hated codfish, and I hated spinach.
Well, when Eddie was very small and I used to feed him just with the spinach. So he said, okay, put in my mouth, I don't want to eat. And he used to, okay, already stop talking. But he had the spinach, because if he wouldn't have the spinach, I thought he wouldn't live so long.
And Marty remembers hearing Mom's voice meant stop the stickball and come home for supper.
And she just kept coming out and calling us until finally we came in. And she was really great at that. Really, she understood us. She understood that we were having a good time and that we were having fun out there. And it was all good, clean fun. And she didn't have any problems because she had her eyes on us all the time.
But every once in a while, she'd get a little pissed off, She'd come out from this door, stand over here, and she'd say, Eddie, get in the house. Your dinner's getting cold. And we reluctantly come on in. You can come right in.
Come into our home.
It's hard to believe that something once so beautiful can now be so squalid. But as you're about to see, not even this could dampen some very warm feelings. Dad and Marty give us a guided tour.
Mom, do you remember? This is Mrs. Miller's apartment. All right. Now, on any given day, Mother would come out of our apartment and walk down Nelson Avenue to Boscoville Avenue to do her shopping. Or sometimes she would go to the beauty parlor, which we're going to be passing over there.
That was Saul and Peggy used to operate that. And as kids, we were always at her side when we went out. We would go out shopping with her, and to just enjoy the walk and the feeling of spending time with Mom.
Girl had got me a gift. They went out of the store that was open.
Okay, hello. Look the way she looks at me. Yeah.
Michael.
What are you pushing me?
Her favorite hairdresser was Peggy, and if she couldn't get Peggy to do her hair, she wouldn't go.
Throw out.
How's that?
Oh, you're loving, you're loving, baby, you're loving, baby.
Right here on this site was a candy store, our fruit and vegetable market, and the famous Deitch Dairies. Now, when Brian and Pamela were very young and we would bring them up here to visit Grandma, she would entice them with scrambled eggs made from Deitch's eggs. That was the best.
So, Michael, that's what you eat? Don't you eat this? Yeah. Why? What do I care? You wouldn't eat in your house, but here you have to eat.
All right, now we're on Shakespeare, corner of Shakespeare Avenue and Boscoville Avenue, and if you can pan right along here, Bob, this empty lot was the apartment house where my famous cousin Selma used to live. Now, she was a good friend of my mother's. She worked in the bakery that was over by that Jehovah's Witnesses building. When she saw me and my father and my mother, no matter how crowded the bakery was, she would say, "All right, you're next." We would come up front, and all we would want, we bought our bread on a daily basis. All we would want is maybe a half a rye slice with seeds or 3 rolls. But she would take a very big bag and just load it up with cakes and rolls and bread and whatever we asked for. And then she would total everything up and say, "Well, that's 29 cents or 39 cents." We walk out with a big bag of goodies.
She's so smart, Dad. She's so smart, Libby. You don't.
I didn't know what he wanted. I mean, I just want a very general.
Yeah, that's all he wants. But it'll be pretty
Like
fishy. He's got one from Marty
Tastes
Kadinsky,
good.
Brian Kadinsky.
Life was much less complicated in those days for her. She knew that got up in the morning, she had to get the kids off to school. Then she had to think about lunch for the children, my brother and I, and then she had to think about dinner. And when it came to preparation of food, this was where she came. This particular block, her butcher, her grocer, they were all here.
A piece of bagel in the mouth.
That's the end of the show, guys. Show's over.
This is PS 11, the famous PS 11 where Martin and I went to grammar school. I can remember my first day here. Mother took me to register me in kindergarten, and I just loved it so much at home that I didn't even want to go to kindergarten, so I cried and cried and cried. So finally she had to go into the class with me and sit with me for a couple of hours and then leave.
You know, it's funny, just the story that you're telling, I guess it's the attachment that we have to Mom, because it sounds as if it was me that you're talking about. I had exactly that experience, and it went on for weeks. In fact, as I recall, I even had to stay home for a week or so because I was sick. I just couldn't, I was unable to get back to school. But it was Mom who took me and held me and until I was finally able to go on my own.
At the end of the day, I come running out that entrance,